Oh my goodness. Now, at the bottom of the deck, you have the Wheel of Fortune. And immediately after that, you have the Two of Swords. So needing to make a difficult decision here to stop a repeating cycle is what I feel like, because otherwise it wouldn't be so difficult to decide to do this, because the opportunity for something better to happen is there for sure. It's time now, right? It's time to make that choice. Now, the Queen of Cups being the overall, we could definitely be talking about a person that you're dealing with here, and you do have the King of Swords in the present, but looking at the Queen of Cups, you're talking about, again, like I always say with her, this is somebody who is emotionally involved, emotionally attached. You can be dealing with water, you can be dealing with air here. But in terms of you, it's really about being in tune with your own emotions here when it comes to things happening quickly with this Ace of being in your environment again. Now, I do see you standing up for yourself, though, and being more emotionally involved in what is going to make you happy because of the Nine of Cups being in future conditions. And with the Seven of Wands coming out, absolutely. Now, with the King of Swords, I think that for you, with the Ace of Wands still being here again, new passionate beginning, god damn it. But looking at the King of Swords, this to me is like looking at it in a logical way, right? But definitely this could be about a person here that is offering you this opportunity. Somebody who is definitely a good communicator here, but there's happiness coming out on this, right? And there is emotional involvement. But my problem is with the King of Swords, right? Now, he doesn't always have to be a bad guy, but you could definitely be talking about somebody who, is like seeing things in a logical way. Now, that could be you or the other person here, but definitely there is emotional attachment coming in somewhere with this Queen of Cups. I always say when it comes to Aries, whether you're male or female, this is a masculine sign. So it would make sense that the kings would represent you more. But, definitely for the females here, there is attachment to someone here and the possibility to have the new passionate beginning, right? Now, with the Hangman, though, I think that for some of you, wherever the emotional attachment is, you can't continue to be caught up in things, because I go back to the Two of Swords and think, yeah, there's a reason why there's a decision that needs to be made here for a better opportunity, and again, the Ace of Wands, right? But also needing to see this in a different perspective, needing to see more, right? There's more to see, there's more to know. But I don't think that you need to continue to wait. Like I see the Eight of Wands and think, things are changing, they're changing quickly. You need to act. You can't, stay here and stay bound to situations, right? Bound to emotions surrounding possibly a person here. But I see you standing up for yourself and standing up for your own happiness and what you actually want, right? With the Seven of Wands coming out, but then also letting this person know exactly what it is that you want, though, too. And with the Six of Pentacles, hoping that, there's going to be equal return here if you're going to get involved with the Six of Wands. I'm telling you, I don't think that I've ever seen a sign have something so continuous. I think the only one that I remember the most would be Capricorn and the Fool. Now it's Aries and the damn Ace of Wands. It never fails, right? But, the other thing, though, too, is, if you're standing up for yourself in terms of what you're actually wanting, when it comes to a person and a person being involved with this Ace of Wands, it could be that, there is a need for this person, though, to start speaking up about how they feel, right? Especially if you're looking at equal give and take with this. But with the Eight of Wands, yeah, I don't think it's about you acting too quickly on something. I think because of the Hangman, it's you needing to act and needing to act now. It's like the door is opening here. So now with the Four of Wands and looking at the Eight of Wands, right, it is about taking quick action to get to a place where you feel stable, being, able to celebrate your accomplishments, feeling like, you've gotten to where you want to be. Now, definitely this could be about building a life with somebody, moving in with somebody, voicing, how you feel about this, but I still see this with past energy and think, there is accomplishment here, something worth celebrating that you've acted toward, but then things start to change. Now, with the Two of Swords, again, there's the difficult choice on whether or not to get involved with this person and possibly the Ace of Wands, right? And needing to act. I still go back on that and think, if you've taken action before to create your own stability here with the Four of Wands, then it's time to do it again when it comes to possibly dealing with a person and a new opportunity involved with that person. Now, with the Moon, though, I worry a little bit about you seeing things in a distorted way, because the Moon is about, seeing yourself in a distorted way here, getting caught up in the illusion, needing to get clarity and not being confused about what you want. Now, that could be, though, because of this person coming through with the Ace of Wands, which is why there's the difficult choice that needs to be made, right? But ultimately, it's about getting to a place of stability and feeling good about the choice that you make, though, too. But with the Moon, you got to be clear, right? And that is where the Seven of Wands is coming out. You got to be clear in the communication, definitely, about what it is that you're actually wanting when it comes to this, And again, clear communication here with the King of Swords. But there's still the emotional involvement or emotional attachment to, the possibility here with the Ace of Wands. But why is it that you're holding yourself up? Or why is it that you feel like, you may still be bound to a situation? It's really about releasing yourself from that. But that damn Ace of Wands, Aries, the hell. But Ace of Pentacles and think equal. Things need to be equal, right? Especially if you're getting involved with another person here. But still, the Ace of Wands, it's still there. It's still in your environment. It's still there. Even if it's coming through from another person, or if you're the one that is offering this to somebody else and you feel like there's an opportunity to have this new beginning somewhere else. But I worry a little bit about the Moon, and that, like I said, may be why we're looking at the Seven of Wands with the Nine of Cups. You got to be clear, you've got to be clear about what you expect. Ooh, codependency, addictions are affecting your romantic life, and that could be where there is a need for you to stand up for yourself here. But if somebody is emotionally attached to you or emotionally codependent on you, that may be where, the difficulty is coming through here with needing to make a choice, right? And no longer being bound to a situation. But we'll see here. And then the Queen of Pentacles, I look at that and I think, for some of you, definitely it could be about you being codependent on somebody else, for financial reasons. But then I look at the Queen of Pentacles and I also think, this is somebody who is more focused on other things rather than the relationship, right? But I don't know. I think that somebody is emotionally codependent on you. I think that you may be in a codependent relationship where they may be looking at, financial stability from being with you, right? But you can't allow yourself to be caught up in a codependent relationship, because it being based on, security and stability or emotions is not healthy, right? So, and that's only for those of you who are dealing with a difficult relationship right now. But I look at the Queen of Pentacles and I also think, you don't need this, right? Like I always say that when I see her. This one's a little bit different though. She's more focused on other things. She doesn't need, somebody to be there for her, Now, for those of you who are single, worth waiting for in strength, it's just, all it is you needing to have strength here to wait for the right relationship. That's basically what it comes down to, having the strength here to wait for the right love to come into your life. But I still look at this and think, for some of you, you could definitely be caught up in a situation right now where it's not that easy to make the choice to take advantage of that Ace of Wands or get involved with another person, because of the Hangman, right? Definitely for those of you who are in a difficult relationship, it may be that somebody else is like overly dependent on you, but I look at the Queen of Pentacles and I think it's either emotionally or it's about material. But I still think for you, you don't need it, right? But that's only for those of you, like I said, that are dealing with a difficult relationship. But I'm still like looking at this and thinking, now for some of you, you could just be looking at that Nine of Cups with that Ace of Wands and thinking, is this real? Is this really possible here? But, you have to act. You can't stay inactive, and I think that that's why the Eight of Wands is coming through. You're definitely going to have to take immediate action, especially with that Ace of Wands still being there. But God damn it, with that Ace of Wands, what the hell, But like I said, to me, it's like this is coming through because of another person now. I do think that for you, you're looking at it logically. But then I also think that somebody is being, a smooth communicator because you're still coming out as needing to voice your wants, to speak up about what it is you actually want, what is actually going to make you happy, right? But it's not bad. I just worry a little bit about those of you who are in a relationship, But like I said, it's for those of you who are dealing with difficulties. But thank you so much, you guys. I hope that this reading helped for some of you. Damn it, Aries and that Ace of Wands. Oh boy, I got a feeling I'm probably going to see it again next week too. But thank you, guys. I love you. And remember, if you want my old deck, just leave me a comment saying I want the deck. And I'll make sure to put your name in and then do the drawing next week. Thank you so much, you guys. Let me go through the comments. I haven't really been looking at them through all the readings that I've done today. Oh, snap. I'm geeking out. Jeez. Oh, thank you, Drew. Yeah, I'm doing all right. Last week was a little bit difficult. I've been run all over the place, a little bit wore out. Thank you, Jenny. Soulburn Tarot, how are you? I love you too. I got to remember to start subscribing to these channels because, I'll watch the videos and like, oh, I love this person. I love their readings, but then I forget to subscribe and that's my bad.